Now let's move on to the next panel discussion. The next panel discussion is about how to launch a startup, idea, growth, hacking and success. We now have Ashok Patnaik of Your Story moderating the session, and the other panelists are Mr. Bharat Lingam from Purple Top, Mr. Ajay Kolla from Wisdom Jobs, and Mr. Fani Raja from Jaggle. Can I request all the speakers to take on their seat on the stage? And Mr. Subbaraju Perichella from Real Shopee as one of the other panelists.
Hi.
And over to you, Ashok. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. We have guests already introduced, and we're gonna discuss about how to launch a startup, idea, growth, hacking, and success. It's okay? Audio is okay? Yeah. Yeah, I'll yeah. Yes. We have one more mic. Okay, we'll start with Subbaraju. Yeah, how are we gonna start a startup? In your words, how to idea? It's okay. Okay. From idea to startup, what is the journey of a startup? Just say me in 2 more words.
Hi, good morning all. Basically it looks like an easy question, but it needed so much effort to tell about like how we start basically. See, most of the times, let me represent startup leadership program so that I can give some examples more than my entrepreneurial journey. So idea is a very essential part of any entrepreneurship, but we should not stop at idea. Basically, until you execute the idea, you definitely don't have any kind of a beginning in your business. And a startup is a business. A business purpose is to do business. A startup is not just something that you will build for someone else to invest and then continue kind of a thing. But all I would want to say is starting a startup is nothing but execute whatever you think that your idea can be a business. Just start executing it. That's how it starts with the entrepreneurial journey. That is my...
Oh, great. That's a good answer. And this question for Bharat. Yeah, hi Bharat. What type of technical knowledge you need for a startup? What type of technical knowledge you need for a startup?
Can you please repeat? I'm not able to hear your question.
What type of technical knowledge you need for a startup?
Okay.
This way.
I think that's a very, very open question, right? So the question is what kind of technical knowledge do you need for a startup, right? So I think, yeah. So, well, it depends on what kind of business you are starting, right? And what kind of background that you have. I wouldn't say that it's a prerequisite for you to know a lot about technology to, start a technology company. There have been a lot of examples where, for example, if you look at, Alibaba, or if you look at, Apple, where, Steve was one of the major co-founders, you do know that, you do see that these people were not really writing code, or they may not fundamentally have a very, very in-depth knowledge about, how electrons and protons, mix together and create bits and bytes. But you are fundamentally bringing, I would feel that, something a lot more, important to the business, which is fundamentally, it could be the understanding of how the market is going to evolve over the next few years. It's about your understanding as to how you will be handling the various obstacles that come your way. What is your plan for building the right kind of team, so on and so forth. Having said that, you do have a few companies that are, fundamentally technology driven. So in which particular case, for example, I want to be able to create, a next generation quantum processor. I need to have strong people who are co-founders who have very good understanding about how this technology is, going to evolve and, things like that, right? But bottom line is, intimate knowledge of technology is not a prerequisite. Jeff Bezos didn't write code.
Knowledge is free for
Yeah,
all.
Alibaba, I mean, didn't write code, right? So,
And how about this question for Faniraj? You tell me, how did you growth hacking your startup? Share your little idea.
Hello, guys. All of you look very bored. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sure, great. So, the question is about growth hacking. I started when I was 17. Okay, so fresh out of school, 11th class, and, was selling t-shirts and making, some money on the sides. So, this word called hacking, actually, I come from Rayalaseema, so hacking has a different meaning. Okay, in, that part of the state. So, this new term called growth hacking is basically about how do you build growth and build very fast growth. Okay, so all depends on what kind of systems you are planning, what kind of business you are in for you to have a great growth. But in terms for me, there are three steps. One is the idea, which is basically in your mind. Then is like you do a POC kind of thing. Post POC, you actually get into a MVP. So once a MVP is done, post that you can look at various scenarios, and there are like this startup ecosystem is there. So you meet a lot of people, who could actually indirectly help you. And these kind of ecosystem will help you, to hack growth faster, is what is my thought.
This is for Ajay. Yeah. Is there a startup needed for a hackathon for recruiting more talent? Is there any another way to recruit?
Coding kind of thing you're
yes.
asking about? Yeah. So I can say the coding and the hackathon, any kind of thing. Instead of that, I think most of the people need something like hungriness on the learning. I don't think so. Even whatever the team we hired for the wisdom in the last 5 years of thing. Most of the times I used to go with the freshers to hire from the company. Almost 95% of employees in the wisdom, we tried with the freshers. Only the 5% of our people like where we need to be just like an instant and immediate kind of output. And I don't hire any kind of people to just to know are you worked or are you know or are you learned or are you trying somewhere. So we are going to hire them like if really the person is really needs a job and the person really like I can say like will and skill issue. The skill we can train at any point of time. We cannot train them from any kind of thing. It has to come from the genetically. It has to come from the hungriness of learning or hungriness of the money, hungriness of to do something else. So we are going to follow that type of minimum kind of thing as a will issue should not be there with any kind of job seeker to hire the candidate. So there is a major thing what we tried and we got success on that. And then from then, if we are able to generate the blood of the same company, then automatically it's going to be they are going to continue with your company and almost. As I told you, like from the 6 years of wisdom, we almost can you imagine that more than the 30 people who working more than 5 years with the wisdom. So yes. Almost even most of the people, if he's really completed 6 months of period with the wisdom, he's going to continue with more than 2 years. So there is a success rate what we've seen in the wisdom. Yes. That is the thing about them hackathon.
Yeah. This question for funny. Yeah. You tell me, what is the success of a startup? You mean, what is the success of a startup? What is the time to exit from startup to independent company?
So, when you ask me a question that, what is success for a startup and, what is the time to exit? So, Facebook is still called a startup after like what, 9-10 years, right?
Yes.
And Google is still called a startup after like what, around 17-18 years. So, success to a startup, could mean different thing to, different people. To Abhay, it would have been if he would have got angel funding or VC funding, it would have been success. For some people, okay, achieving certain growth would be success. To some people, actually exiting or bringing in a partner would be success. To some, taking it to IPO could be success. To somebody who could actually build a value proposition which is going to be long, very, very long lasting could be a success. Time to exit, is anywhere between 3 months to 30 years to never ending.
Oh, that's
so that is how I see, a lot of companies, just ideas are sold. I personally invested in a company, when it was just on a paper. and we invested 2.4 crores in that company. Today the company is in 2008. Today's the company valuation is 350 odd crores, right? But the entrepreneur who is running it still wants to make it 1,000 crores. So for him, 300 crore valuation is not success, whereas for us, we have multiplied our money multiple times. So it is different to different people.
Okay. This for Subraju, yeah. What is the current startup scenario, compared to other cities like Bangalore? We are far away from Bangalore. Is there this opinion is good for Hyderabad, or is it different?
Yeah. Comparison is always very dangerous. But in my opinion, as a city, we are actually growing far better than any other place in India at this point in time. Because of, let me tell my own personal numbers which we did last year. So Startup Leadership Program is a global platform. Just wanted to tell because this is a platform which works for the startup founders to make them understand how to start and make the business successful. So we have, when we open for applications, we have 288 applications, which is the largest number that any chapter on the globe got. That is, we are about 26 chapters across the globe, and we are the largest numbers in applications. We as a program leading team, we met 100 people personally to interview and select 25 startups. And out of 25 startups, 30 to 40% of them are no need of funding, they are already doing good, and 30 to 40% were just started and trying to do something, and the other 30% people were either they have started, they failed, and again trying to start, and they are at a juncture where what they wanted to do. This is how we made the entire team. All the 25 startups, if you say the people, there are 2-3 people have different engagements now, but 20 to 22 startups are doing wonderful. Out of them, few of them have actually tried raising money, and some of them are in positive discussions with people. So I'm giving this number because this is one such platform. We have multiple things happening in Hyderabad, like Founders Institute is there, and then we have Spartan came up, we have T-Hub is happening wherever we go. So in the country, wherever we go, there one question is very inevitable, that is about T-Hub. So you guys are doing amazing. So from Hyderabad, and one another personal experience as an entrepreneur, whenever we are going and meeting people to raise money, they are actually telling that being in Hyderabad, probably you may not get better valuation. Shift to Bangalore, you will get 20% of additional valuation, kind of a thing. So these things are happening at one side. The other side, like me, there are quite a few entrepreneurs who are getting this kind of a information from different people and questions from different people. But I can say, my friends here also can vouch. We are the most vibrant ecosystem at this point in time. Certainly, yes. But the level of maturity, yes, we have a very long way to go. Certainly, we are there in getting into that particular point, is my view on. And this is the best city, in my opinion, to be in for any kind of a startup or entrepreneurial activity at this point of time.
Okay, that's good. Any interaction from audience? Ask the question.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sailesh, and we are in the school education business, one of our businesses. We've been trying to get funding for the school education business in a decent way. We've been in the business for about 10 years now, and we are doing about 20 crores. And we need that kind of a leap forward, especially in the low percentage of, if you take a look at the valuation of these kind of education companies. We are not in the online business, by the way. We are in brick and mortar business totally. So what are the ideas that you have for brick and mortar business to be investing in, especially when you're seen with your kind of experience in investing in probably online kind of space now?
Yeah, fun. No, actually, he is looking at the investment point of view.
I think,
yeah.
So the question is, why do you need investment, right? So if you're looking at creating if you have the opportunity to create a billion-dollar business, that's when your VC would be interested in, right? Typically, if you're talking about at a 20 crore, top line, I think that you're really looking at something like a VC investment
No, he's
at this point in time.
that investment for technology growth. We have an education system like first standard, second standard, like kind of 10th standard. That's not the that innovation comes under education system. It has to be changed, right? That's what he is trying to interact.
Well, if you, I mean, let me rephrase it. The idea of investing in a technology business vis-a-vis a brick and mortar business. So if you can expand on that, it would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's primarily about scale, right? How fast can you scale and get to that $100 million plus top line? If you have a business model which can potentially scale very, very aggressively, like a hockey stick model as they call it, and if you have some proof of concepts, right? So you have executed this business model on a smaller scale, and therefore more or less the risk of the idea is not there. It's only about, and the model has been proven. You just need money to to scale up very quickly. That's when people would be interested in pumping in money. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
To say it is not just technology when you talk about entrepreneurial or a startup. So there are quite a few investments that are happening. If you go back and Google it, even from the Hyderabad itself, you have a panel. This question can be answered there also. The percentage of investments into brick and mortar businesses or non-technology businesses are almost equal to the investments that are happening to technology. So there's no limitation to it basically. But as I said, most of us we always talk, a purpose of a startup is business. Right? The business purpose is make some money, get some revenues and make some profits to it. So everything depends on that basically. It is not just, whatever business you do, if the business is scalable, if the business is making proper business sense, I think it is, investable only. So that is my view. I mean, Funny, you have anything to add?
Yeah.
So, first of all, let me congratulate you that, you have a 20 crore top line in school, which is very nice. I very sincerely looking at lot of, schools in Hyderabad, whether you take Gotham Model School or Oak Ridge, or all of them have got funding. And they are all in the range of, 100 odd crores. But when they started, they were also in the range of maybe, 30, 40 crores when they got funding. So there is no particular differentiation between, funding tech and non-tech. So there is equal amount of funding which is happening in the tech sector as well as non-tech sector. The key would be the use of funds. So what are you using the funds for? So if you are going to use it for like working capital, okay, basically, then it's a very different question. No VC would be interested in, right? Because VC would typically look at that if I have $X, how can I make X square, X cube, and so forth, right? Versus, a brick and mortar, system would be slightly different, right? That is what the difference would be.
Yeah, I'm extending that question. Yeah, why these investment not coming under education system in the innovation kind of thing? We are going, we are giving textbooks, learning, exam system like kind of thing. Why don't you this innovation not coming under education?
No, so if you look at, I think there is tremendous amount of innovation coming in the education sector. Now you have, you look at companies like Treehouse, Career Point, look at Byju's, so many companies. So there's tremendous amount of money which is coming into education sector. So EduComp, when it started, was the first one which had massive inflows of, private equity as well as, stock market funding. But that has not been too great a success story, but there has been enough and more funding which has come into the system. That is what is my belief.
Yes, Ajay.
In fact, I would say that the country is being run by the education lobby and the real estate lobby.
Education wise, like if the content is very good, like for example, when comparing the school education and primary school and secondary and all the competition kind of thing. So a lot of people are coming up with an online content, online videos also, even on sharing on the classroom.
Online content is not so successful compared to these.
No, even the certifications exam, for example, Simply Learn.
Yes.
They're doing a very good business
That
over
is in
there.
graduate.
Yes, graduate
Yeah,
level.
I'm talking about school level.
The school
Yeah,
level
free,
is
yes.
still there is challenges over there, but
Yes.
but the education level for getting the job, for example, there is no skill like training process is going on well. So there is no content and the syllabus is being there for any kind of content and any kind of skill. So a lot of online, the simpler and kind of a certification kind of thing, to get the opportunity to improve their skills and then one skill to another skill, to migrate from the most of the people, like most of the companies are going with an online training kind of model. So there is scope over there instead of the small level, school level kind of thing. That is my feeling.
We have our chief guest. Yeah.
Close the panel discussion, or is there any last question from the audience? Maybe one last question, if there is any.
My name is Chandan Dikshit. I have a very small question, or it's a suggestion I needed from you guys. That,
Speak loudly.
Hi, my name is Chandan Dikshit. I am a founder of Digital Dada. Okay, and so what my question is not really a question. It's a suggestion from you guys, that what parameter we have to fix before to reaching any VCs. That we have to, what parameter we have to fulfill, or what in our business plan or in our anything that we have to reach to VCs, what we have to foolproof before reaching any VCs.
Yeah, I can say it's totally is a case-to-case basis. Some of the VCs will ask you like the different kind of question, and then because, for example, I'll give my personal experience. Initially, when I go to the VCs, they used to say, Ajay, there is a lot of people like the job board management and the like Naukri, Monster, Time Sunshine. They're already been there. What you can do that? So then I proved that in the 2 years of yes, I'm doing the profitability and then I'm doing the very good business in the market. Then I reached around 12 to 15 crore of revenue. That point I went back again to that. I said like, yes, I'm profitable now. I'm running the money. Then they said, why you need the money now? Then after that, now recently when I go on to the equation kind of discussions or something, any kind of investment kind of thing, they said like, okay, Ajay, you are doing very good, and I don't think so. You need really the money. You can grow and you can look for some kind of acquisition kind of thing, or else you can now you are in the situation to acquire some another small player. So this is a three different kind of questions in it. Initially they ask like, you are not earning the money, so how we can be invest. In the next stage, so how you can be, you are already earning, why you need the money. So if really you are able to get them some kind of business model in the perfect way, yes, there are chances. And if you are able to showcase, yes, if you are really any investor is not looking for to help you, the investor is looking for to earn on you. That is the only thing. If you are ready to showcase like, yes, if you are going to be with me, then you are able to get revenue 2x or 3x or 4x, then they are ready to invest on that. That is my personal feeling.
Yeah. First of all, why are we just thinking about VCs while we are doing a business? The first question we should ask ourselves is, do we really need external money? And the external money you should look at only when you are doing considerable, meaningful business, whatever you started. So to give my personal experience as an entrepreneur, I met about 10 VCs last year when we are doing our, trying to see our expansion from Real Shopee, which is a rural commerce company. 8 of them said very good business, but we are not going to go invest at this point in time. 2 of them said it is trash and you are going to go kill yourself very soon and don't come to us for any time for the growth, this thing. And the VC has become a small, individual HNI investment for the growth. And then probably we are running it. And the same questions what Ajay mentioned, whenever you go there, you will have a typical questions. But in my personal opinion, your business should feel that it needs some money for the expansion. It is not that you feel as a business, or you should not build any business for only looking at where to go and how to go for VCs or when to go for VCs. This is my personal, view.
Thank you so much, panelists. Can I request Mr. Vivek to come onto the dais and hand over the mementos as token of appreciation? Thank you, Mr. Fanirash, for coming and sharing your insights. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Bharat, for accepting our last-minute request. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Subbu. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Ashok, for facilitating the panel discussion.